Hey guys, what's up? It's Danielle. So welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to take you through an updated look into my car bag, everyday carry car bag, I guess you could call it. I don't remember what I've called it in the past, but this, like I said, or like you might have been able to figure out, does stay in my car. Also, little kitty paws right here. So just a heads up, my cat Baki is right here and he loves to lie on my desk. So if you see him walking by, causing chaos, I can't really do anything about it. He's a cat. He does what he wants. But anyways, this is a tote bag I got a couple years ago from Cabela's, and it has held up really well for how much stuff I have in it. Obviously, you can do this with like any tote bag or any kind of duffel. I just chose this one because of all the different pockets that it has, and I really liked that. I thought that I was able to fit more into it, and yeah, I really am still so in love with this. So what I like to do with this is I actually keep this in my back seat. I used to keep it in my passenger seat, but so I do keep this in my back seat. That way it is easily accessible. You could definitely make a version of this, keep it in your car, like in a glove compartment, console, something like that. But this is just what I prefer. So I'll kind of show you guys the outside, and then we'll work our way through the millions of things I have in the pockets. So on the handle, I have two different carabiners. This is just like a circular one. And I have hair ties. And then this is another one with more hair ties. I have different, widths and different types, and just, if I ever need a hair tie while I'm driving or while I'm going to work, if I forget one, then I am 100% covered. So it's always a good thing. So there's a pocket on this side and also on this side. There's one on the top, and then all the other ones are right here in the front. So I'm just going to start with the very front pocket right here. And right now all I have is a little, this is probably not, I probably don't need to have this in here, but just like a little screen cloth by eCloth. I'm actually going to take that out. I never use that. I'll just keep it here in my office. Then this second pocket has stuff that I've kind of put away, but I want to have at my disposal if I feel like I need it. So I keep winter gloves in here, and they do have like the little things on the fingertips so that you can text. But I keep these in here because I generally don't wear gloves in the winter because I hate them. But sometimes it's just too cold and I do end up needing them. So I keep them in here. And then kind of to go along with that, I have a little scraper by Stanley, and this is what I use to scrape ice off of my windshield. That way I don't have to like wait for de-icer. I don't have to carry it. I don't have to buy it, like whatever. Then I have a couple of different bags. So this is a bumpkins bag, and this is actually a wet dry bag. So basically, these are meant for like little kids, but I think they're great for whatever age. And basically, you can put something like wet, like a wet article of clothing in here, and then, you can wash it. So these are washable, which I think is really cool. So I do have a couple of these, but I always like to have one in the car just because you never know. Then I have a really large shopping bag in here. I do keep my reusable shopping bags in my car with me, but I just thought it was helpful to keep the super big one in here. This pouch right here has my masks. There are still some places that require mask wearing, so I just like to have them. And then I have one of these plastic bags from, I have like a whole big thing of them, but these are from Uline, and you can use them for whatever. Honestly, I have this just in case I puke, or, you know, you never know what'll happen. So it's everything in there. Now I'm going to show you what we have, or what I have, excuse me, on the sides, and then we'll move up to the top and the center. So this right side, if you're looking at the front of the bag, is kind of more like for tools and things of that nature. At least that's what I use it for. So I have this, it's by Human Gear. I got this, I think at REI a couple years ago. And it has a full set of plastic cutlery. This is multi-purpose because when I go camping, I obviously don't have, you know, cutlery or anything like that I want to bring with me. Obviously, I want that to stay at home. So this kind of serves that purpose. And also, sometimes, you know, if you're eating on the go, it's nice to just have it. So why not? And then I always do have napkins in my car, so it kind of works out. I have a backup battery. This is by My Charge. I got this from Walgreens a couple years ago, and it does hold a charge very, very well, even in the winter, I've found. So this is after using it, I think for maybe an hour or so, it still holds a charge. So definitely love that. I do have a regular USB wall charger, just in case. I do have, I think it's 2 different types of charger cords in my car. So that's kind of the idea behind that. But I have this just in case. And this, yeah, actually this is one of them. So I have one phone charger right here, like the cord. And then I also have a little USB, or whatever the hell we call that now, that charges this. So then I have a little Swiss Army knife that I've had like since college, honestly. And an extra can opener, because you never know. I have had to use that before. This is my Leatherman. And this is the Leatherman Bond. So it's meant to be a little bit smaller than the other ones. And this, I love it so much. So very versatile. There's not a ton of tools on it. Not as many as the Gerber one that I have. But I keep that in like my medical kit that's in my car, which I also will go through that about every 3 months, just to make sure that things aren't expiring. And yeah, but thankfully I really only ever have to drive from my house to work. So there is a benefit to working all the time. And I do work for a company that supplies, you know, medical stuff. I won't really get into what I do exactly, but suffice to say that if I need something, they most likely have it. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, this side is completely extra, but this is completely dedicated to that time of the month. So I have an extra pair of underwear because you never know, and this has happened to me before where I didn't think I was going to start, and then I did, and it just, there's nothing more uncomfortable than being in that situation and not feeling clean. And then I have different types of tampons, all the different types of pads. So ready to go at all times. I am extremely lucky though, because the company that I work for, they do supply feminine products, but that's just kind of like if I am feeling particular and I want to use my own. All right, this top mesh pouch, I'm not going to open, but it has a bunch of different packs of tissues so that I can just kind of grab it as I need. This way, I don't have to keep them in my car, and I also don't have to keep them in my little, you know, my little emergency bag that I keep in my purse. So it kind of cuts down on a little bit of the bulk. I don't keep anything in this top mesh pocket. And then this is where all the good stuff is. So I have this Banana Boat Sport 360 coverage 50 plus sunscreen. And I did buy this year. I make it a point to always double check when my stuff expires. And I actually really like this. So this is non-aerosolized. And it does have a lock mechanism on the top. So sometimes what I'll do is I will just spray this into my hand and rub it on my face and my neck. Because again, I will freak out if I don't have sunscreen on me at all times. Like, I'm not even kidding about that. So this is also nice because I can also use it on my arms and, you know, my feet and my décolletage, all that kind of stuff. I'll get to this in a minute, but this pouch, I'm not going to show you guys, but there's pens in here. And then there's also a list of like places that I can explore that are local to me. And then, you know, that are like 1 to 2 hours away if I feel like doing that. Then on the side, so I pretty much keep this in here for camping purposes and things of that nature. Sometimes it's nice to just have a towel. So this is by Sea to Summit. And this is actually a microfiber towel. And this came in extremely handy the last time that I went camping. You know, because I went to a place where they actually had showers because it was the middle of the summer and I was like, I'm not going without a shower. But what I like is that this does have a little hook so you can actually hang it up when you're in there. So I thought that was nice. And it's always a good idea to have something like this. You know, maybe if you have kids or something, or if you have somebody that you take care of who's elderly, maybe somebody who's disabled, it just never hurts to have a towel, in my opinion. All right, then I'll show you guys this last because this is a lot. But I also have been keeping my ORS solution in here. So this is 10.5 servings worth, and I made this back in March, but it's all shelf-stable stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. Just gotta shake it a little bit, get some of the clumps out. So I will link this. I will link the recipe below, but this is the WHO ORS solution. So it's oral rehydration salts solution. And basically it's stuff that you can make at home. It's a lot cheaper than buying Gatorade or Pedialyte. It works 1,000 times better, and it's hella cheap. So it doesn't taste that bad in my opinion. I don't know. People are kind of divided on that, but you know, it just makes your water taste a little salty, but that's because you're replenishing your electrolytes. So I like to have this in here just because, again, it is summer and I'm sweating a lot. And I am always trying to keep up my hydration. So it's definitely something that is extremely important to me. All right. This is the last thing. Now, this is like a, what do we call this? A DOP kit. Like, it's like a, you know, like those toiletry kits for men. That's, I guess, what this is. And this is like a tactical one. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, oh, I like all the pockets. So I just kind of ran with it. But there is a paracord bracelet that detaches on the side. And I do have another little, what do we call this? Safety pin right there. There's a bunch of pockets. So I'm just going to start with this side. This is where I keep like my hair stuff. So this isn't a full-on, like, I can do everything, but I can basically be comfortable, if that makes sense. So I have a French twist pin, and then there's like a little skinny headband. There's some bigger headbands and a scrunchie. Then there's also so I have these Tic Tac cases, and there's another headband, but I have these Tic Tac cases, and I've done this for years. I don't remember where I saw this. Maybe it was Pinterest, like 10, 15 years ago, but I obviously ate all the Tic Tacs, and then I filled them with bobby pins in one, and then I have these rubber bands that I use in my hair. So if I want to do something more involved, like a braid, I'll use these. And then, you know, my hair will stay a little bit better than it normally tends to. This center pocket is the biggest pocket, and it's where I have all the things. So this is where I've been keeping my little pill case. I have not been keeping it in my emergency bag that I keep in my purse, because I haven't really needed it, but I have Aleve, caffeine pills, Tylenol, kaopectate, and I do carry some laxatives on me, just in case. I don't really need them, but I carry them just in case. And then I have some allergy meds right here. Then in this little stasher bag, I have some Band-Aids, and there's also some shout wipes. I also have a little thing of my retinol eye cream. So this is another thing where I will literally freak out if I leave the house without putting it on my eyes. Don't ask me why. It is what it is. Rescue inhaler, so I don't have to carry it on me. And then I always have one of these somewhere. This is the Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Lotion. And this stuff is amazing because it's actually non-comedogenic. So I have been in a bind before where, like, perfect example, I was coming back from a work trip and they ended up losing my luggage, and I didn't have any of my toiletries with me, and this was all that I had. So I was able to just use this, and I was perfectly fine. So it's something that I always keep on me. Eye drops, these are purely for allergies, but I do have ones specifically that have ketotyphon fumarate that I carry in my purse if I feel like I need it. Little mirror brush combo thing, and then a Neutrogena makeup remover wipe. What else? Got a lot of stuff in here. Another thing of tissues, and I realize this is redundant, but a double-sided mirror, one of them has a higher magnification. So this is dual purpose because you can use it for like signaling, and you can also use it for what I use it for, which is plucking my eyebrows. And then this little pouch, which is like, it was, I don't know, an Estee Lauder thing a million years ago. I have eyeglass repair kit, and there's some pokey tweezers, some nail files, and the cutest little pair of scissors you ever did see. You guys might be wondering why I have a lot of the same things. So I like to have redundancy just because it never hurts. And there's an old adage, and it's 2 is 1, 1 is none. So that's kind of what I like to go by. Earplugs, because sometimes I just don't want to hear people at work. I'll be perfectly honest. And then this is kind of like an on-the-go thing of my WHO ORS solution. So if I feel like I need hydration and I don't want to take the entire mason jar with me somewhere. Say I'm going to like a restaurant and I feel dehydrated, I can just take this with me. And this is actually from it's like a little travel thing for like protein powder. It's actually pretty cool. Then I have some Ultra Tiger Balm because the stuff works very well. And usually if I end up throwing out my back, I will just use that and then ice it. I do have one of these clips because sometimes, you know, just want variety. And that's actually everything in the center. Now, if I flip this around, there is a mesh pocket. And I have two things in here. So, first thing is I have some floss. And I do keep floss picks in my car console as well. And then I also have these Benefiber on the go packets. Again, kind of for the same reason that I have the ORS stuff. Just in case I feel like I need it. All right, now we move on to this back part. And I also don't keep anything in this pocket right here. But in here, I don't even have enough room for this. I have a thing of Band-Aids, just a couple of different types, nothing fancy. And then this has some different types of wipes. So I have some baby wipes and then some antibacterial hand wipes. And then these are Cetaphil skin cleansing cloths. And then there's just some extra plastic bags. So yeah, that is everything. And the nice thing about this is that you can really tailor it to your needs, your life, whatever. Like obviously if you're a mom, you're going to want to have everything under the sun. But for me, this is what I'm fine with keeping in the car. Also, I tend to keep snacks in my car. And what I tend to stick to most of the time are like nuts and things of that nature, just because they keep pretty well and they don't melt. You know, they can be in different temperatures and they are perfectly fine. So, but yeah, I would highly recommend having something of this nature. Personally, I like to do this because I do not have family that lives near me. My mom lives in Houston. My dad and my brother live in Minnesota. Then I have family in Colorado and also in like Nevada, Wisconsin. So I'm literally on my own. And it's perfectly fine, but having to rely on myself means that I have to be prepared. So that's just kind of my way of doing it. Now, the last thing I'll say is that this is really more so for comfort. This is not for actual survival situations. I do have stuff in my car that is more related to that sort of thing. I don't know why I haven't shown you guys that yet. I need to, but maybe I'll do that. I'll do that in like the next week. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll talk to you on my next video. Bye guys.